What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the Entrepreneur Life. Again, I'm your host, Kenneth Wilson. It's good to be back. It's good to be doing this again. It's been a couple weeks and been off and busy and working and doing a little bit of moving around. So it's been a little difficult getting back in front of the camera. So it's good to be back. A couple things I just wanted to share today. This weekend was a very interesting weekend. And Saturday, I had the opportunity to be the keynote speaker at the Black Wall Street event. And it was held in Baltimore at Gloucester College. And it was a great event, wonderful event. It featured a lot of young entrepreneurs, a lot of current business owners as vendors, and they were selling products. And a lot of young people were able to come through and just mingle, learn, and performances and shows. So it was just like a nice, large event just with a lot of different people, a lot of networking, a lot of sharing, a lot of people just having a good time. And so as a keynote speaker, I was able to kick off the event. And the one thing that kind of was on my mind that I was able to share a little bit was, I spoke on a couple different things. And the one thing I'll kind of share with you all today in this vlog is that as entrepreneurs, you never know who you're going to come across. You never know who you're going to meet in your journeys. And so we have to be able to kind of be walking billboards and advertising, be able to do pitches on the spot and talk about our businesses and our ventures and what we're doing. And so one thing I always say is that you never know who you come across. So you never want to come off as not representing your business to the 100 all the time. And sometimes, it's a little hard and people say, well, you can't be on all the time. But sometimes you always at least be aware of the situations you're in, be aware of your surroundings, be aware of who you're talking to, because you never know what people can do for you in your journeys. And I always say two things. People can be two things. People can always be a customer, or they could be a resource. And in meaning that sometimes whatever venture you have, whatever you're doing, you're selling, your service, whatever it is, the person you come across, you never know, they may need it. And so you just sometimes in talking to people, you just never know what their need is. And a lot of times we have assumptions, or we think we know based on how people look and appearance and how they're talking, things like that. But you never know what they're going through. You just don't know. We don't know people. You just never know. You can't never judge a book by their cover. Or that person may not need the service themselves. They may not be a customer and need what you have right away, but they may know someone who does. They may be able to spread the word for you. They may be able to access other resources and other things that you may not be able to obtain right away or obtain at all. And so when you come across people and you're talking to people and you're letting them know what you do and things like that, like, keep that mindset. Be able to say, okay, this person may be able to do something for me. And it may not be right away. And I think that's the one thing we all get caught on, is that you want to sell right away. You want that network connection to work right now and be able to be beneficial right now and immediate. But sometimes it may not work like that. Sometimes it may be planting a seed for the future. You never know. Situations, people come back around. People remember things. They remember you. They remember what you're trying to do. You never know. I've been in situations where people have contacted me years later, years after I met them. I didn't remember who they were. It might have just been a conversation I had somewhere. May have passed out a card. May have told them a story, told them what I was doing, something. And you never know. People contact you later on. Hey, I remember. Are you still doing that? What do you have going on? Or I know someone who's in need of your service. I know someone who may want to work with you. You never know. So always, as you interact with people, keep that in mind. That also means that, your interaction should be positive. As you come across people, you always want to have positive interactions, no matter what you're doing. And I think that's outside of being an entrepreneur. I think that's more of a life lesson as well, too. When you come across people, you generally want that person to leave in a positive, the positive thoughts of you, thinking, hey, that person was pretty cool. We had a great conversation. You never know. You never want someone to walk away from your conversation like, that person was crazy. I don't know about that person. They're sketchy. They're foul. they're dishonest. You never know. You never want those negative things to be tied to you anyway. So especially in business. So my entrepreneurs, like as you're talking to people, make sure that not only are you correct your presence, your presentation, but also you're representing your business as well. And so for a lot of us who small business owners, people who, and maybe just you operating a business, maybe a small group of people, you're pretty much, like I said before, you're almost like walking billboards and walking flyers and postcards and business cards and things like that. A lot of it may be dependent upon you. And so you do carry that. You do have to be able to know that, okay, each person I talk to, something may come out of this. And sometimes, I kind of even expect it sometimes too. I know from talking to people and I know the conversation is going towards business, okay, I know I could talk to this person and I can plant a seed, something may happen, but that's what I want to happen. And so I look forward to it, I'm ready for it. And so I'm prepared for it as well too, which may mean I already know things that I want to say. I can describe my ventures. I can describe what I want to do. I can describe who I am, describe the services that I'm offering, the products I have in relative amount of time and through conversation. So always be prepared. Always know what you want to say. Always have things that you can go to real quick and be able to say and kind of drive the conversation as well too. That may take some practice. That may take a couple times of interacting with people before you really get it. And sometimes you may need the confidence to be able to kind of build that up. So sometimes practice on people close around, practice every time you go in a situation. I also say too, sometimes networking events could be, good for that as well too. They may be good practice. Sometimes if you go knowing that there's other people there, they're going to ask, what do you do? They're going to ask who you are. You're going to do the same. So you will have opportunities to be able to share. So sometimes if nothing else, and I know some people are really against like networking events and mixers and brunches and all that stuff. But, every now and then it may be good practice to just try one. So that's my little tidbit for today. So if you have any thoughts, any comments on that, hit us back, reply. Like I said, we're on YouTube now. We're going to be on the website at zybanenterprises.com. So check us out, share, let us know what's going on, and talk to you next time. Peace.